Hey guys, Nina Oglesby here. This video is going to be a little bit different. You know, when you come from a background of working and being someone who runs with the baton and shares or support other people's vision, you're oftentimes left out of the equation of what it means to put that vision together because you may be part of the support pack of that group, not necessarily the leader of that group. So you don't always know what goes into it. And so you're efficient, you're excellent in what you do. But when it's time for you to launch out into a venture somewhat of your own, because everything we do takes a community, so it's never fully all our own. But when you launch out into something somewhat of your own, you're leading something and you're having to discover, you're having to evolve, you're having to learn, and you're having to discover and excavate what it is that you think you're creating. Oftentimes we create one thing, one idea, one brand because it's all we know. It's what people think they see about us. It's what they tell us, girl, you're good at that. A lot of times we make the main thing, the means the main thing. What do I mean by that? You may be good with people. That may not necessarily be your main thing. That may not be the meat and potatoes of who you are to be, or what creates a demand, what pulls on the supply and draws on the supply of your storehouse, your gifting, your abilities, your strength, what people pursue you for. Or you may be good at communicating. So you assume, yep, that's me. I'm the communicator. Not necessarily asking yourself, God, am I the communicator? Or did you give me the communication skills so that I can actually advance something bigger, something deeper, something that looks completely different than what I expected or assumed it to be? That's exactly what I've experienced over and over and over again. I've chased the wind in a sense of trying to pursue something that I thought was mine because I made the means the main thing. And the means is often a vehicle that allows you to transport the main thing. And if you don't spend time excavating you, examining you, studying you, you will constantly miss the main thing in pursuit of the means. And sometimes when you're struggling to market yourself or to position your value or to even talk clearly about what you do, it's not because you're not clear, but more or less you might be clear on the wrong things. You might have your ladder up against the wrong wall, building and working to create something that may very well be something you address down the line or maybe a part of your vision, but it may not be the thing you need to pursue. Instead, what you have to ask yourself is, why are people pursuing me? Pay attention to the trends. One of the things that I did is I created a system and a tool for myself that allowed me to track what I did to create a response, or actually I followed the response, okay? I followed the response. I asked myself, when someone reached out to me, what are they talking about? Why are they reaching out to me? What was it that drew them to me? What are their challenges? And how does my strengths and what they perceived look similar or different than what I projected? And as a result of doing that, I started paying attention to a pattern. Consumers or the clients that you desire to serve or your prospects and audience, they're not always coming to you for what you assume they're coming to you for. There's a difference between your perception of what you need to present versus their perception of what you possess that solves their problems. And when you can get concrete on that, my goodness, you find your sweet spot. Because now it's no longer a struggle. You see how I'm making this video so free and so flowy. Do you know that I made a commitment to make a video? And this is very transparent. This is very vulnerable. Some of you may not be able to handle this. This is my way of announcing to the world that it's okay to rebrand and to redirect and to go in pursuit of what creates a demand on the supply you have, not the other way around. We're trying to supply something that is based on market or based on research or based on what we think versus paying attention and examining and studying what comes to us organically, divinely, naturally. And do you know that when I would make videos in the past, because I had made a commitment, a video a week, I would struggle sometimes because I knew a subject matter, but I knew it for me, and I knew it for me versus knowing it always and translating it for you. But the moment I actually started to walk away from the expectations and pressures of others, and I said, Nina, this world system is set up to where we're creating mass productions of people, but we're not teaching people how to make mass productions of really who they are. In other words, your work should be an extension of who you already are designed to be. Even if you're selling a product that does not seem to align with your natural designing, somewhere in there, God knew that it would align together. And that even if it just gives you access to make a difference in someone else's life, it has a purpose in it. But if you don't give yourself permission to understand that the rules of business are in place to guide you, not define you, you'll constantly try to fit a box and a mold you were never designed to fit in. You were designed to dominate and to shape versus falling in line to conform. There's a difference. And when you're trying to be innovative and a leader, you have to be honest and ask yourself, what is truly creating demand? Just like when you're a copywriter or just like when you're in sales, there's the benefits and features, and there's what people really desire, what they really want. They want their business because they really want flexibility. They want their business because they really want to fund a retreat, or they want to do other things, or they want to, renovate something, or they want to do something. We all have a reason for our pursuits. Just like customers have a reason for their purchasing. It's the same thing. So this is my announcement to you, to ask you to get still and to examine you. Don't go off of what other people tell you need to be doing. Go after what's going after you. Follow the crumbs of what trails constantly come to you and from you, and start to tinker and play with those things. And if you see a return, and if you see a response, pay attention to the patterns of that response. And the greater the demand, then the easier it becomes, because now you will begin to be natural in your flow. You'll know what you're saying. You'll know why you're saying it. And there's a story behind it. Guys, you're going to start to see this YouTube. Sorry about that. Our social medias are really swapping nowadays. It's so sorry for that. You'll see my YouTube starting to shift. I'm going to constantly address the same themes, but you'll see a freeness that you're going to be like, oh yeah, she's hit her sweet spot. And if I hit my sweet spot, imagine what would happen if you gave yourself permission to do the same thing. What would happen? I hope this video blesses you. Sorry if it seems a bit ranty. I was nervous, and I'm not going to lie. The enemy made me feel like, we're living in a world where you can't do this, you can't do that. There's rules, there's that. I can't do that. I have to operate by faith. I have to use wisdom, and I have to understand that guidelines are there to guide, not to define. And I don't have to be a prisoner to someone else's system of thinking or the way they thought that they've accomplished something. I can be my own Einstein. I can be my own Thomas Edison. I can be that, and I can do that for my audience and provide them value because of that. And I can teach them and show them how to do the same thing for themselves. So I hope you like this video. I hope you will subscribe, and I hope you will follow the journey with me, because the more I discover and the more free I become, guys, I want to pass that on to you because you're worthy of it. I hope that this blessed you, and I look forward to seeing you. Make sure you share it with someone who's struggling to articulate and understand what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to highlight and pursue the wrong thing. Be blessed. Bye.